I think that's something that's missing from solos nowadays. Is like everyone's just going in and shredding, sweeping patterns, and they may be playing something melodic, but they're playing it so fast or just economy picking it and going crazy that it doesn't have. There's nothing memorable about it. It's just shredding. Hey everyone, this is Nick from MEDITATOR, and today I'm going to be doing a Tech Tuesday explaining the solo I play in Dust. So I like to think of this solo in 4 sections, and ultimately the rhythm under this solo is not complicated. It's like 3 bar chords, not that big of a deal. I just knew I wanted a solo there, so I made a very simple rhythm to go over and kind of just do whatever I want. Not to say theory should be ignored, but you can be a little looser with bar chords and no majors or minors. So how I started the solo off was with a diminished shape, which this song has quite a bit of diminished in it, so it just seemed fitting and kind of natural for it to be in there. Alright, so this first shape is a sweep in diminished. And it quickly goes to a scaling pattern, which a lot of you have probably heard this from Disturbed, Inside the Fire. So it does the sweep. And I kind of just play around with adding some extra notes in there to fill out the scale. So, but just adding some extra. So that whole section. Alright, so that's the first one. Into the second section, I kind of go more into a harmonic minor shape, which it's straight up a harmonic minor shape. Going up, it actually does just walk the scale, but I fluctuate in and out of speed for how I want to go up it, just so it doesn't feel like I'm just going up it. So I do a slow at the beginning to add a little bit more of a melody feel, and then end it going back into the speed, since the whole first section's pretty much speed. And that end part has a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs in it mainly, but it is all within the scale. I'm not adding any weird flats or sharps besides it being harmonic minor itself. Just add a nice bend at the end of it. So the next section is playing off of a D minor sweep, which this guitar is in E flat dropped. It's the just classic D minor. If you've ever played metal of any sort, you've played that scale, that sweep pattern. So I start it with a melody again, going from 17 to 20 to 15. Kind of do a. So there's that sweep. So that's the third section. And the fourth and last section, which is very similar to the chorus lead, is very slow, just very melodic. Play it again. So the whole thing's slow. I'm just kind of holding that B string so that the harmonics or overtones don't really collide, so I can get that note to last a little bit longer. So that's it, slow. So let's show it again at full speed. the solo opens with shred, I suppose, and then that little is kind of melodic, and then it ends with the whole shred again. And it goes back to melody, ends with shred, and then it goes back to melody again. I think that's something that's missing from solos nowadays. Is like everyone's just going in and shredding, sweeping patterns, and they may be playing something melodic, but they're playing it so fast, or just economy picking it and going crazy that it doesn't have. There's nothing memorable about it. It's just shredding. And I think a really core key to 80s shred that made it very memorable is that it still played into the song really well. So you really want that. I want to keep the melody in there. And the end of the solo, is exactly what the chorus is. So it's all kind of just bouncing around the melodies that are already present in the song, which is, I think that's really important for a solo. Alright, thanks for watching this Tech Tuesday from Meditator. Please follow us on all social medias and check out Dust, which is now out on all streaming platforms.